Hey guys, Teresa here with Sippie Couture. Okay, let's ignore the mess. We're gonna go ahead and do a baseball dad tumbler with the tape from Amazon. Y'all, this is so simple. Probably the easiest guide design that I have because it doesn't have to be completely flawless. Like with the dirt look we're gonna put on it, there's a little room for error. So I think you guys are gonna like this. I will do my absolute very best trying to explain it, but I'm still trying to figure out these whole video things. So if you have any questions, let me know and I will do everything I can to answer it and help you guys out. So let's see what we can do. And this is a quick design, guys. Like, that's what I really love about this. I think the hardest part is probably making sure I'm patient with my spray paint, getting a nice white coverage on it. So that's what I did. I prepped, well, actually, this is the prepped cups from Hog, which I absolutely love. That's easy enough. So it doesn't have epoxy, it's just spray paint. We're gonna go ahead and get our decal on first. And then I'll explain this tape because this tape is really awesome. I know that there's some debate whether you should trim the tape or not. And I do. I definitely do for this design. And I'll tell you why as soon as I as soon as I know I'm not messing this up. So we're gonna get this in here really good. This vinyl I'm using is a metallic vinyl. And I seriously love it for these baseball designs because that blue, the way it looks under epoxy, man, it plays off so good with the red, with the stitches and the dirt. I love it. And one of the other really good things about this is that this metallic vinyl, if you get a little bump under it, I don't even really worry about taking care of that bump unless it's like massive. If it's like a tiny little, look, I have one right here. A tiny little one right there. I'm gonna go ahead and poke it and try to get it to lay flat. And if not, we'll just put dirt on it. We'll just cover it up. No one will know, right? How's that little TikTok go? Okay, so there we go. I cut this, what I do here? I think I did let me see. Sorry, I probably should have had this out already. I cut this decal 3.5 across and it's 2.18 is the height. So now we're gonna do this super fun part. I hope I can do this because like I said, I'm not used to putting it like this. All right, so with this tape, it does come as, it's clear, but this print on it is opaque, so you can't quite see through that. Now, if I was doing this, it's best to, let me put it this way, it's best to do this tape over epoxy because the tape will disappear. The clear around it will disappear. I trim it out because of the dirt that I put on it. The way that we fill it in, you'll be able to see that straight edge, where at least if I have some seams on it and it's cut out, it kind of plays it off a little more and the dirt doesn't have like a straight line, it kind of goes over. So I do cut it out. I don't really worry about it with epoxy on these guy cups because it does, the way that we lay the dirt, you know, you can't really see it. As long as you make sure you get all those bubbles out, it's fine. Like I haven't had any issues. So we're gonna go ahead. Oh, and this is also what I did. This one broke. I was gonna put on a different cup and it broke, but I'm gonna show you guys how you can use this if you kind of had that same little mistake and a piece messed up and tore on you, how you can just patch it and then cover it with our little paste that we use for dirt. It's just easy. You know what, we'll start with that one. So what I'm gonna do is I have my decal down, so now I'm gonna take this and I like to go on an angle. I like to put this down on an angle. Guys, it's gonna be so hard for me. Like I'm seriously not used to doing this with my cup not right on me. So let's see. What I did is I took a piece of parchment paper, probably about 12 inches or so. I laid it out and then I just laid the flat piece of tape around it. There's a little bit of gray from this tape that you can see right there that I just went in and out and trimmed each one. I mean, I know that might be a little pain in the butt, but I don't know, it's kind of easy. Like it makes for easy, quiet time to just sit there and do something simple. So we're gonna take this off. For the bigger pieces, I remove the back as I lay it, but since that one's been laying around for a bit, it was a little messed up. All right, so we're gonna lay this at the top, press it in, and I'm gonna let it go on that letter because I'll just trim that out in a minute. All right, I'm gonna go through and lay it down. That way I know where it's gonna go. And then we can go through and fix these little pieces. And this is where that if you do this over epoxy, all of these little things, it will just blend in. But like I said, it's easy. It's easy to just do, like it's a one-day design. I can start it right now, get the design done pretty quick. Just worry about cure time. Okay, look, see how that's separated? We'll put some dirt on that. My only thing is that I don't want to quite pull it up and risk damaging this paint. And it's not a ton big a deal if you kind of mess up on a piece of paint because you can cover it with the dirt that we're going to use. But I do want to keep some parts like crisp and white. That's where doing epoxy first would help you out if you're not too sure about laying this down straight over paint. Because you know you won't damage your paint if you have that epoxy down first. So I'm going to take the other half of it and I'm going to just match up as best I can. All right, so that's on, and then we'll do the same thing and just kind of press that down. And then I don't do the bottom of my cups right now. I just kind of got tired of fighting with it whether it'll be level or not. So we're gonna trim that off and then we'll get our little cup edging tool after the epoxy is done and make sure that has a nice clean line. Right now we'll just kind of cut it where we want. All right, so that's one. You see how I kind of cut, like I trimmed around that L. All right, so now for the next one. We're gonna kind of wrap that going the other way. Make sure I get us out as many bubbles as you can. Oh, yes, sorry. Yeah, you can bring that up. Forgot I had someone coming to pick up a cup. My husband's like drawing out a sign, holding up like a bag, like, is this it? All right, so I did this one going down, and I really like the way it looks when one goes down and one goes up. So we're gonna flip this the other way, and we'll go up with this one. And it's easier to pull this tape if you're kind of going with how the seams are laying. Which is probably why I struggled a minute ago because I forgot that. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go over the top just a little. Oh. Let's see if we want to use that. And we'll wrap it around. If they wanted anything with like a number on the back, if it was like a baseball dad cup or something, then I would kind of just go around those words at the back. But this one is just a little saying with the stitches, so, well, with the coach's name with the stitches. And I've done a few of these. That was like a baseball, softball, you know, in one. And when I did that, I just spray painted half yellow, you know, the highlight yellow, and the other half was just white. And it came out so cute. I'll put a picture, I'll put a photo of it somewhere so you guys can see it. But I'm gonna go ahead and trim this off. And then, like I said, when I'm done this whole thing, I'm gonna come around with my cup edging tool and take off a little bit of that bottom. So that's it. You know, I have it so that no matter which way you look at the cup, you're seeing a bit of those stitches. It kind of wraps around. And look how easy that is. Guys, that's decal and pretty much the design straight away. We're gonna trim off, get pretty close right there and trim that off. And trim that straight. Okay, so this is where it gets pretty easy because if you have any places where you scratched your paint, we're gonna cover it up. All right, so part of this really, really fun part that I'm excited about telling you guys is what I use to make it look dirty. It's the best. I tried real baseball dirt. all of my boys, all 4 of my boys play baseball. So I tried using real baseball dirt. When I tell you that stuff was heavy and impossible to work with, I had to sand the hell out of it. Just didn't go as planned. So this is so much easier. You can get it to lay pretty flat. I'm trimming off the top where it's going to hang over. There we go. And I'm going to go back and create a seal around the top of this, so I'm not quite worried about that right now. So like I said, we'll get it decent and then we'll flawless it later. We're not worried about that just yet. Okay, so that's on. Definitely go through and see if there's any big bubbles or pieces that are laying flat, because if your epoxy does happen to get under this, it is not fun. I have had luck where vinyl lifted a few times, and I went through as it was on the turner, and I kind of like, you know, put it back down a little, and that worked great. Like I just had to sand a little. I didn't have to like go pull up any vinyl and fight with it. All right, so like I said, the fun part. This is what I use. I'm so excited. This is what I use. I tried everything, y'all. I tried dirt, real dirt, the stuff from Michael's and Hobby Lobby that was just crap. Hated the way it looked. So this is from the Rust and Patina kits that you can get from anywhere, online, Amazon, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. This is brown rust, and this is red rust. I like using the red rust the most because it has more of that baseball dirt look. And then I use the brown just to give it like a little more depth and help play it off a little. And it looks just so good together. So I do all this with my fingers. I don't have time for paintbrushes because I'm just impatient. So we're gonna go ahead and put on this dirt. I had one of these that dried out, and I took some 91% alcohol and I put it in there and swished it around really good, and it was perfect. Like it did just perfect for kind of bringing it back to life. Especially when you don't need it a lot, you just kind of want the texture and the color. This is gonna be a mess. This is one of those times where I don't work by my computer, but. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and smear this on here. And make sure, like this piece right here that ripped, I'm gonna put a little glob over that so you can't see it. And any other places that we're not happy with. That bubble, just put a piece right there. And as we put on the colors, it kind of works in, so I'm not too worried about the chunks right now. And this is where I said, if you can see where, how can I get this in here? Here we go. If you can see where the lines are right there, you see how this paste is kind of like going around the lines. This is why you want to trim it. The other reason is that if you're trying to put that tape on a curved surface, you're gonna cry. Oh, it just sucks. But this is where, you know, we cake on that stuff right here. This little seam that I had, probably should have trimmed that down, but this is all right. We're gonna put a little glob on here, and then we'll help it cover with the other stuff too. And then we're gonna just go around and give a little in the back. The thing I try to do the most is cover any areas that I'm absolutely not happy with. And I don't want it to be a ton of this stuff because I don't want it to look completely like ombre or anything weird. I just want it to look like a, you know, a bit of dirt. See if you have a spot. Can you see how I did that? How I put it there, and it took to the paint, but it didn't take to the tape. So then just put a blob over the tape too. So it's kind of one piece. And this is definitely one of the patinas I tried to bring back to life because it's normally not this dry, goopy. I do feel like it works better when you kind of layer it across. So we'll, when the brown comes through. It's funny, like I haven't done one of these in a while, so I almost feel like I don't remember where I would normally put my dirt. And I know it doesn't matter, but at some point I'm still like, ooh, do I like that? Probably should have got the newer one for this video, but that's all right. All right, and then I don't quite like the way that looks, so I'm gonna smear it in a little with just baby wipe. I'm totally at the point in the tutorial when I'm like, do I delete this? Do I keep doing it? All right, so I don't like that at all, but we're gonna see what we can do. Wipe that off, and I'm gonna go in with the brown now. And I'm not using a lot of this, it's just enough to kind of bring just a little more character to some of those messy places. Like when you kind of just tap it on there, it looks pretty cool. Like it picks up, it kind of works its way into some of that, the red rust, the red, what did I say it was? Yeah, the red rust. And it really looks cool. Like it kind of blends its way in. Go back with that little bubble we had. Make sure I get that spot where that crease was. And then the top for any lines. I really hope that was in video, man, where y'all could see it. I'm gonna put this on. Go across the lines where you can see that. Like I said, I'm still gonna go through and give it an edge and clean it up, but that way when I sand it down a little, it'll still look a little natural right there. All right. All right, I'm gonna bring my red in again. Just making a mess. Y'all see this? Goodness, man. All right. Make sure I have all the spots that I want. These are fun. Like it just gives it so much character. I've actually just said that. It's never something I've said before. It does though. Like it's kind of gives it just a real look. All right, I'm gonna keep blending them in a little, kind of get it to where I want. See how it's kind of coming along? Definitely one of those as little as or as much as you want, and please don't make it look like mine because mine is just not what it needs to look like. All right, so that's it. I have some spots that are kind of like that bright white, and a lot of it's just dirty. The good thing is that whenever this guy takes us out to the ball field a lot, it doesn't quite matter if it gets dirty. I think that's it. Okay, I think that's it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this sit and dry for a bit, and then I'm gonna go through and with my hand just kind of wipe off any big chunks that may be sitting like, that will give me a problem with epoxy. Just so that they don't float around too much. But that's pretty much it, guys. We're going to do epoxy and then we'll see how it looks. All right, so this is where I go through this whole design and just wipe off some of the really big chunks. This part isn't that big of a deal if you kind of want that texture. I just don't feel like fighting with having to sand it a ton after I do this layer of epoxy. And I find that the Nola epoxy, what do we have here? The glass coat, that it's really good. If you let it sit for a minute after you mix it, not only do all the bubbles go away, but it thickens up a good bit so that you're not having to do a ton of coat. So, so we're gonna go on with that. And that's, you know what, I think I'm just end the video here for you guys, because that's pretty much it. I mean, we do epoxy. If it needs to be sanded, we'll go through and sand it a little, just so that that final coat will be a lot better. But this is a point where if you have a cup next to it and a piece of glitter gets in it, you can just take that paste again and then just put a little dirt look over that piece of glitter, and you can't really tell anymore. So that's it, guys. This was super quick. I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, this tape was on Amazon. I put it on parchment paper just to trim it out. And as long as you take it and you lay it down, then you really like kind of lay it through, like run it through, you can trim it pretty good without it pulling up and being a nightmare. So that's what I do. I really don't mind it. So hope you guys like this tutorial. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope it was helpful for you guys. And like I said, a lot better than having to fight with real baseball dirt and have to worry about that. So, all right, guys, hope this helps.